Welcome to another episode of A Minute Till 6. I'm your host, Mark Haynes, along with my co-host,
Chris Perry.
And today we got a special guest, which we just been informed that we actually is my man's first podcast. You know, NBA veteran, Mr. Marcus Thornton, man. Appreciate you for jumping on with us.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
So, Mark, man, we usually, you see it's called, I'm calling you Mark. He Marcus, I'm Mark. You know, but you Mark today. We got two Marks on the show.
I'm cool with that.
We usually like to start from the beginning when we do interviews and stuff. So I want to ask you about high school around your senior year and stuff. We're aware that you went you went the junior college route. Just wondering, was that because you was the typical youth person who was it grades, was it low, you wasn't recruited as high as you wanted to be, or how'd you end up at Kilgore? Is that Kilgore Junior College?
Yeah, Kilgore Junior College. Yeah, man, it was me being a knucklehead. In school. It was because I wasn't recruited or whatever, and a lot of people don't know this. Like, I was actually on my way to going to Arizona if I would have got my grades, because high school in Baton Rouge, you don't really get looked at as much. But that year I played AAU basketball, and I was able to go around and travel around and make a name for myself. And that year we went to an AAU tournament in Vegas, and I did pretty well, and I got a lot of schools on me. But me being a knucklehead in school and thinking I was high and mighty, wasn't really paying attention to my work, and ended up having to go to junior college route, man. And I felt bad because I felt like I let myself down, and but at the end of the day, man, going to junior college was a good thing for me because it helped me become a man fast. I had to provide for myself fast and get it on my own fast. So I don't regret none of the stuff I did, but a lot of people don't know, like, I really could. I almost went to Arizona.
Okay, you almost was a Wildcat, man. So you spent 2 years at Kilgore, then you spent 2 years at LSU. You almost cracked the top 20 all-time scoring list in just two seasons. You came in at 21 by the time you left. Are you still involved at LSU? I mean, I know you still have that sweet spot in your heart, or is it?
Yeah, man. Yeah. When before all this COVID stuff, that's why I go and train every year. Like, you see a lot of people going to, Miami, Vegas, and everything. I pride myself on staying home. And that's why I train at. They open up facilities to me, man. It's just like being back in college, man. When I go back and train, the coaches treat me well. The trainers always there. Everybody there to help me, man. And it's a great feeling, great environment.
Right. And coming into LSU when you got there as a junior, did you know, because your junior year you averaged just under 20, I believe, and did you know you was coming in to be, I'm actually wearing a shirt that say verified bucket, that's what you was. Did you know you was going in there to, come in and score the ball and do your thing?
Man, let me tell you, coming out of junior college, I felt like I was behind the 8 ball a little bit because, I felt like I missed 2 years of, me going to college and, being that player. So in my mind, I felt like I had to make it up real fast in those 2 years. So to answer your question, yes, like, I was on a mission. I was on a mission soon as the day I stepped on campus. Like, anybody in my way, you was going to get it. So to answer your question, yes, I knew I was coming in to be a bucket every night.
Man,
go ahead, Chris. You got it.
No, I'm just curious as to, you coming in, you're a bucket. Did you feel like, on the court, the game got faster, or did it change from the JC level to being at LSU and you playing in the SEC?
I think it didn't. Because the competition I went up against every night in junior college, man, like those guys was good. Like I say, if they would have got their grades, they would have been at a top level D1 college too. So I felt like that's why I felt like I was so prepared and so ready to get to LSU, because I played against D1 guys every night in junior college. Like unfortunately, they just ain't get their grades. So, you know, so as soon as I stepped on campus, man, like I said, I knew what time it was, and I was just ready to go and take off.
So then you reach your senior year, and now it's time to, you know, enter the draft. What could you tell me about, well, one draft night and just leading up to the draft, your thoughts going into it?
Man, I was more anxious. I was more anxious than everything, man. I was more anxious than everything. And just to be able to say my name was going to be in the draft, man, was like the biggest thing ever for me. Not even knowing where I was going to go, you know, just to say, like, this is what I worked for my whole life. And my name to be even, like, associated with NBA, like, it was the biggest thing ever for me, man. Like in middle school and high school, like on all my test papers, I used to write NBA bound on them. And like the teachers used to be like, what the hell? Like, what the hell you write this for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just in a crazy area on the paper, I used to write NBA bound. And, you know, like all those thoughts just came back to me, man. Just being associated with the NBA, man. That it's like it was a dream come true. Like I said, that was before I even knew where I was going. I was just happy.
Man, that's amazing, man. That's manifestation, man, right there. You know, you gotta speak it up throughout your whole life, man, and go ahead and live that thing out. But so you get drafted second round, 43rd overall by the Miami Heat, and then there's the draft night trade, so you never made it there, and you end up with the New Orleans Hornets. Can you tell us about your time with the New Orleans Hornets and playing with, learning from as well, a guy like Chris Paul?
Right. First of all, everybody know I'm supposed to win first round. So
I was going to ask you that too.
yeah, everybody know I'm supposed to go first round. Let's get that out of the way. But you know, things happen. Man, being drafted like on draft night, you know, we sitting around, me and my family sitting around. So, you know, my agent right there too is like, you know, once that pick came up, Miami, and I knew I was going to Miami, I was like, Miami? Like, that's, you know, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, you know why? You know, that's what's up. You know,
sir.
Yeah.
Cool. Miami, that's cool, man. You know, weather good. You know, everything good.
Everything good.
And like 5 minutes later, you know, I'm celebrating with everybody. 5 minutes later, you know, my agent calls me back, you know, into the room, was like, you know, don't get your hopes up too much, because, you know, they just dealt you New Orleans. Now, like, New Orleans, where I'm from, you know, I mean, where my home state, you know, I'm from Baton Rouge, but New Orleans is right up the street, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, it's a win-win situation right there. You know what I'm saying? I can't, you know, really can't get mad at that. So, you know, I came back in and informed all my family, like, look, I'm not going to Miami. I'm staying home. So it was a whole another celebration again, because I'm staying home now. So, you know, played ball at LSU and I'm staying home again. So, you know, everybody can come see me. So that was pretty cool, man. But when I got the day I got drafted, the first person to call me was Chris Paul.
Awesome.
The first person to call me was Chris Paul, man. You know, by him calling me and that whole year taking me under his wing, man, that was everything to me. By him being a player, he already was. He was already the all-star, already this, already that, already the king of New Orleans. And for him to like call little old me and take me under his wing, man, that was big, bro. He was a big help to my, you know, adjustment in the NBA.
Right. And then you go on in that rookie season to you averaged 12 and made second team all rookie. Was that were you satisfied with being on second team that time?
I wasn't satisfied because of the competitor I am. You know, I won't be first in everything, but I get it. You know, the guys that made first team, they really deserved it. So, you know, I can really just, you know, chill on that one. You know, but in my mind, I was first team. But, you know, the guys that made it, you know, those guys played well that year, man. They deserved it. So, you know, that was good. I was just excited to have my name on a team, you know, being that, you know, it was my rookie year and nobody really expected me to do that. So.
And then from there, you end up where I'm based out. I'm in Sacramento, where you had, you know, this was kind of your breakout time here in Sacramento. Your first season here, you was on a pace averaging 21, and then, you know, injuries and stuff. But what was your mindset in coming into, you know, Sacramento, and what was it like being there?
Well, my mindset coming in Sacramento was basically just like I said, when coming out of JUCO to going to LSU, just to kill. Because my second year in New Orleans didn't go like I planned. And I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder and I felt like I had something to prove. So by me getting traded to Sacramento and, you know, those guys kind of really just letting me come out and be who I am. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed was a place that can let me be me. Just, you know, not trying to hold me back because of this, that, and the other. Let me be me. You know, let me play. And Sacramento was that place, man. And, you know, Coach Westphal and, you know, our GM at the time, Petrie, you know, they let me be me. They saw something in me that I guess nobody else really did. And they let me be me, man. You know, that's why I kind of took off.
Hey, and you probably deserve a little more credit for the style of basketball that we have today. Cause like I remember watching you in the Kings, and I'd be like, some of the shots you would take and be allowed to take and make them. I was like, man, this dude, it'll be a fast break. It'll be 201. He pulling three. So I feel like you deserve a little more credit.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget that, man. A lot of the style they playing now, I've been doing that. I've been doing that, but that was fun, man. That was fun. That's you know, that whole scenario you just brought out was, you know, the coaches having, you know, faith in me, man. Like I tell people all the time, when you know, it's you make it to the NBA for a reason, and it's because you're talented, right? And you have that coach to go along with, and you have the, you know, the front office to give you that confidence and let you mess up, let you make your mistakes, but still rock with you at the same time. And that's all you need, man. It shoots your confidence up to a whole nother level. And that's what they did. That's what they did for me. You know, I already had confidence in myself, but they let me be me. And that's a mark of a great player right there.
Amazing. So, man, listen, you're on the Kings, and I'm a Lakers fan. You know, one of the long-time rivalries there. And as you can see, I got my Kobe USA right here behind me. My question is, do you have a Kobe story? Because that's going to always be a long-standing rivalry, and I know you guys played a lot.
I do, man. I do. I actually posted, you know, whenever he passed, you know, rest in peace to Kobe, man. I actually shared this story on Instagram. Like, the last game, I think it was 2011-12 season. You know, obviously they was going to the playoffs and we wasn't, but you know, I'm still playing. I'm gonna fight to the end. So
the
last game of that season was against the Lakers, and they needed that game for their seeding, and we were just playing, like, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't treated like that, because if anybody know Kobe, if you match up against him, he go bring it. Like if you don't bring it, he's gonna embarrass you. So I knew I had to bring my A game, even though it was the last game of the season. So, you know, long story short, you know, I had 33, he had 36, 40, something like that, and actually hit like a 3 to close the game out. And you know, the game was over. And he actually like met me in half court, man, and gave me a hug, man, and told me, "Good game, man. Like good game, and you gonna do good things in this league, bro." And like for Kobe to tell you that, man, like that story, I'm gonna tell my kids, my grandkids, this and everything.
Right.
Because not to mention, that he's passed on. Like he's still Kobe. He's still an all-time great. And for him to recognize that and tell you that, man, like that was everything I needed, man.
Dope.
Nah, definitely, man.
But I have more stories, but I'm just leaving that down.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you another story about Sacramento. I used to see you guys out, quite often. Do you have any funny stories of, like I don't think too many have stories like Steven Jackson in that Indiana team where they went out but do you have any team stories with you? Was it Boogie was with you, Dante Green, and all those guys?
I don't really have those guys would never just crazy type guys. Those guys are like good people, so I don't really have no stories like that. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't used to go out like that, but when I did, it was always like cool and chill. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have no funny stories like that.
Right. All right. So I was just surfing right there.
Right.
But then this is a story. This is a story that I definitely want your thoughts on. I'm fast forwarding probably a little too far because I do want to talk about your time in Brooklyn as well.
Right.
But I just thought about in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Your year in Washington, you're in a intense game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and
I already know what you about to
a very intense game. Okay, well, for those that don't know, it was a game that went into overtime. It's the shot where LeBron hit the falling out of bounds, crazy.
Right.
Run me through your thoughts on that whole little sequence from him doing the travel and missing the layup to the.
First of all, like you say, he traveled. First of all, missing the layup, and for him to come back and make that shot, man, that was probably the luckiest shot I ever seen. But it is LeBron, man. You just never can count him out. He made the shot, man. And, hats off to him, bro. But that still was one of the luckiest shots I ever seen. And as everybody like really just tagged me in the post or whatever. Like, man, look at your face, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done got that. I done got that 1,000 times, man. I was just, I was so locked into the game, and when he made that shot, I was like, no way, man. No way he just made this shot. I mean, it was an incredible shot. All you can do when somebody make a shot like that is tip your hat out to him, man. And if you stroll along that video, even his facial expression after he made the shot was like, "Damn, I just made that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just gotta tip your hat to him.
Let me take you back then real quick. I'll take you back to the Brooklyn Nets days. You got to play alongside some future Hall of Famers over there, man.
Yes.
We hear a lot about KG's intensity and things like that. What was your experience playing alongside Paul and KG in Brooklyn?
Look, going back to Sacramento, we played them or whatever.
Right.
So you see KG beating his head against the goal post and snapping himself and all that. I'm like, man, this guy can't be like that 24/7. He can't be on 100 like this 24/7. So I'm just looking at him like, man, is this guy crazy or something? Like, what's wrong with him? So like you say, fast forward to Brooklyn, he's like that every day. Like he's like that. Like he's really like that. Practice, scrimmaging, racing, whatever you want to do, he's like that. Like this guy, him and Paul Pierce, man, like we would have practice at 10 o'clock, man. Those guys in there at 6:30, 7 o'clock, man. And by the time we get there at like 8:39, they already in a full sweat. Like these guys really, walk they talk, man. And it's not a surprise, they're going to be Hall of Famers because of the work they put in, man. Like these guys' work ethic was unmatched, and they was like the greatest teammates like I ever. I only had a short time with them, but it was like one of the greatest teammates I played with. I don't know because they were older, so they were like, "Here, young fella, go ahead, do your thing." But those guys was like the greatest teammates, man. Like if you needed motivation, if you needed help, if you needed this, you knew who to come to, man. Those guys was great. Like my first playoff game, we went to the playoffs that year. Like KG saw, I wasn't nervous, but I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to mess up and let the team down. And he saw that. So he pulled me to the side, like, come on, young man, get together. It's just a game. I was like, yeah, to you, because you'd have played in 1,000 of these. This is my first one. You know what I'm saying? So, he helped me out that series, man. And, obviously that series went to 7 games. And, I actually played a big part in Game 7 of helping close that out. And a big part of that was because of him.
Mm-hmm. And when you guys had that team, man, y'all was loaded. Y'all actually had a guy from Fresno, Brook Lopez, on that team as well. But when you guys didn't, because obviously you guys were in it for a championship. When you didn't win the championship, did you guys feel like it was kind of a missed chance, or how did you guys take that?
You can say that. You can say that, but at the end of the day, we got beat by that Miami team that won the championship, and that was Bron in his prime, that was D Wade in his prime, that was Bosh in his prime. So you kind of got to just tip your hat off to him. Like I still wish to this day we would have had a KG and Paul Pierce in their prime. You know what I'm saying? They was on the back leg of their careers then. They still had that fire and still had that, competitive nature, but, Bron was younger. You know what I'm saying? I wish we would have had a younger version of Paul Pierce and KG, and, then you let the chips fall where they may right there. But, that year, Miami did go on to win it. So, you just got to tip your hat off to them.
Nice. Yeah. From there, I mean, you had a couple stints. You were the Celtics, Phoenix Suns. But if I can, I want to take you to your time, 2015-16 season. You played with the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
You had James Harden, Dwight Howard. You guys had a pretty nice team at that time.
Yeah.
And then we get to the first round of the playoffs, and you ran into the 73-9 Warriors. But going into that playoff matchup, because they had just had a battle with them in the Western Conference the year before. You weren't there yet. But going into that playoff matchup in the first round, was there a David and Goliath feel? Did you guys feel like you didn't really have a chance to 73-9, or what was the mindset going into that?
I can only speak on half of that season because I got traded half of that season. So I can speak on half of that season. Coming into that season, like you say, we had a pretty good team, man. Like far as like pieces for everything we needed, we had it. We had it. It just was a thing that we couldn't put it together, as quick as we needed to beat a Golden State in, 7 or 5 or however many games. So, and like you say, every game we played Golden State in the regular season, it felt like a playoff game because we knew that was the team to beat. See what I'm saying? And, that we just couldn't put it together, man. Those guys, Golden State, those guys was together. Everybody talk about how good they was, but you can't be that good without getting along and being together off the court. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell those guys had that. You know, and that's what we were missing that year. You know, talent-wise, we matched up with them, but we just couldn't put it together to, you know, really, you know, beat them. And, you know, that was the thing. You know, I still feel like if I wouldn't have got traded, we still would have had a better shot.
So, I mean, we've heard you talk about some great players that you played along. I got to hear your feelings or synopsis of Dwight and James Harden, being that they usually have a bad rap as teammates. You hear a lot of rumors that they're not great teammates. Let's hear your take on it.
I mean, like you say, you hear rumors, you hear rumors, but you really don't know unless you're in that locker room with those guys. You know, James, is a great player, as we know. You know, can do any and everything on the court. You know, Dwight was good at what he did. You know what I'm saying? What he did, and it just sometimes, you know, with teammates, you know, everything can't go smooth every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you develop. That's how you develop that camaraderie you need. You need stuff to go wrong to see what type of, you know, team that you're dealing with. And like I say, stuff went, you know, wrong sometimes, but at the same time, we always kind of brought it back around. We brought it back around to, you know, if it was Trevor Ariza, if it was, you know, guys like Corey Brewer, those guys was known veterans. They can get those guys to coexist. You know, those are like two of the greatest veterans I've been around, especially Trevor. Trevor's like my big brother. So, you know, that guy, like, he kept that team together. And like I say, when you playing a team like Golden State, you can't allow none of that to affect you. And by having that affect us a little bit, man, that gave Golden State their edge. Like I say, two great dudes, man, but at the same time, you know, you have those battles you go through, you know, within the team, and, you know, that will kind of happen sometimes.
And just an opinionated question. I want to get, you know, because I'm been tapping into my pro blackness lately or whatever. We usually call it the Mount Rushmore, but I want to know your Jackson 5 of basketball, top 5 all time.
My top 5 of all time. MJ 1. I mean, I'm not that old, so I can only kind of stick to, you know, I know basketball in and out, but I can only kind of stick to the guys I didn't seen play or played against. So I will go MJ 1. I will go. That's tough. Do I need to go 5 straight or just give you my 5?
Yeah, just no particular order.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'll give you my 5. I'll give you MJ. I'll give you Kobe. I'll give you Kareem, just because of all the stuff I done read up on how amazing he was. I will give you who else? I will give you LeBron, because at the end of the day, you know, he's gonna be up there. Like whether people like it or not, he's gonna be up there. Okay, I got one more. I'll give you Shaq. Shaq, I think Shaq is the best big I've ever seen play in my life. You know, the most dominant big. So I would definitely have to put Shaq in there.
All right, that's what's up. And then another thing I wanted to ask you about, meant to ask you a little earlier. Your career high, you scored 42, which you know, at all levels from high school to JC to, you know, Division I to the NBA, you've always been a bucket.
Yeah.
So what was it like? Do you remember your feelings and emotion when you the first time you scored 42 in an NBA game?
First time I scored 42 in the NBA game was against Golden State in Sacramento. I'll never forget it. Like I still watch those highlights to this day. Like it felt like if I bounced the ball and kicked it, it was going in. That's the type of that's the type of zone I was in from out the gate. Like it just felt like that. Like as soon as I stepped on the court for tip off, it felt like I was in that zone, man. And it just came to me. And playing with Boogie, man, like I still tell people I got 8 to 10 points just off playing off him. Like he was so talented. Like if you get open, he's gonna find you because he's the man in a double team every night. So you get open, he's gonna find you. In that game, like the first 3 or 4 clips is he passing the ball to me for a layup. Like simple stuff. So that got me going, man, and that whole game was fun. And if you look at that, after I scored 42, I told coach to take me out. I could have scored 50. If you look at that game, my last bucket, I'm pointing to coach telling him to take me out. That game was fun, man. That game was fun, and matching up against Golden State was always fun.
Hey, I'm just bring you current real quick and just ask you about the bubble. Playoffs are finally set. Brackets on both sides. I want to ask you who your Final Four teams in both the Eastern and the Western Conference Final, and who you have winning it all.
First of all, let me say I sure wish I was playing that bubble because that is if you can get a bucket, that's the type of style you need to get in because them dudes out there getting buckets, man. I like it. I love it. But my final.
Hold on, Mark. Before you keep that up, has any teams? Have you talked to any teams prior to the bubble starting?
I haven't talked to the team, and that's because of this COVID thing. With it's big. My mom's real sick. My wife and my daughter, they have like respiratory problems. So I really didn't want to step into that, and really leave them with all this stuff going on. So I haven't really even like kind of pursued it. Like my whole thing is kind of waiting until everything, die down a little bit and, see what's good after that. Because I definitely have a good 2-3 years in me for sure. Like, gotcha. But watching those guys play, man, I'm a big basketball fan. Even if I'm not playing, watching those guys play, man, those guys they out there doing it, man. They out there competing, and they doing a good job of entertaining with all this stuff going on.
So back to who's in the finals and who wins this year?
Yeah, okay, I pick. I got the Clippers coming out the West, man. I got the Clippers coming out the West, and I got Milwaukee coming out the East.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got if they was to match up, I got the Clippers winning, man. I think those guys, they have something that can guard, every position. You got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got Pat, you got Marcus Morris, you got all those guys can guard, man, and all those guys are tough. I done played against all those guys. Played with Pat, played with Marcus Morris, so I know what type of guys they are. They're real hard-nosed guys, and they're gonna compete. So, I got the Clippers coming out the West. I got the Clippers winning it all.
And another guy that plays, similar to you as far as shooting the 3 ball is what do you think about Damian Lillard's play in this bubble and him facing up against the Lakers?
It's been unbelievable, man. Like watching that dude, bro. Like it's crazy. Like it's crazy. It's you kind of become a fan, man. Like if you didn't like Dame, you like him now. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, the determination on his face every game. Like I'm gonna will my team to the playoffs. And you know, that's what he said. Like if we gonna go and play in this bubble, give us a chance to get to the playoffs. And for him to say that, you know, get that opportunity and then go down there and really do it, it show you what type of player he is, man. Dude's special, man. Like I said, if you didn't like him or you was hating, you got to come up off that.
Yeah, man. I feel like this is the bubble has like you said, it's a different style of basketball. It's more of the people that are used to playing, you know, empty gyms, street hoop, you know, whatever the case may be, just going out, lining up and playing basketball. You know, there's no fans, there's none of that. You know, it's not a show at all. So you actually see the people that are used to the show side of things kind of struggling. And then the people that play that kind of ball, they balling right now. You look at the TJ Warrens and things like that, man. So I'm loving it.
You can see the pickup type guys, and you can see the guys that, you know, really need, you know, that inside gym and air and all that. You can see the guys that play pickup growing up outside on the concrete.
Yeah.
And you can see the guys that need that gym with the air in it too. You know, and like I say, I love it, man. I love it. No fans. It's me and you. Like, what's up? Let's bump. Let's go. Yeah. I love that. That's how I grew up. So that's why I say, like, I would love to have the opportunity to play in that, you know, if all this COVID stuff wasn't going on, man. Because that's how I grew up. Like, it's me and you. You know, you ain't got no fans. Like, let's get it. Like, let's get it. Let the best man win. And that's how it's been going, man. Like you say, you can see those guys that grew up in that environment because they playing well. And you can see the guys that didn't because they struggling.
Mm-hmm. And like you say, you got another 2-3 years, maybe more, especially with that shot. With coming back, would you be looking to play for a contender, or would you just want to be back?
I just, like, right now, like, I miss the game so much. Like, any opportunity, you know, I would have to weigh it, but in my eyes, you know, I would want to play with a contender. But at the same time, like I said, I just love to compete. You know, I just love to get out there and I love to play. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. So, you know, any opportunity, you know, we have to sit down and talk about it. But any opportunity to come my way, you know, I'm definitely open. You know what I'm saying? But just you know, being out this year because of personal reasons, you know, have to take care of my family and, you know, just, you know, I miss it. So, you know, I really can't answer that question, but at the same time, because I just want to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to play. But at the same time, as a competitor, you always want to play for something. So at the same time, so that'll be both ways, playing with whoever and playing with a contender team. So, you know, because you don't make your name until you get to the playoffs.
Right.
So,
and I'm we ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. Just a couple of quick little questions. I want to fast forward to the future. You know, to 40-year-old Marcus Thornton.
Right.
Do you think at 40 or whenever you're done playing in the NBA, playing, you know, wherever you play next, do you think you give Ice Cube a call and jump in that big three?
I think I would, man. Because like I said, I love playing the game. You know, I'm like right now I'm in great shape. I keep myself, you know, busy and, you know, working out. You know, I work out every day, and I'm in great shape. So, like I said, I just love to play. So, you know, at 40, you know, when it's all said and done, you know, because I'm quite sure after I'm done playing, we'll be sitting at home bored, wishing I could play somewhere else. But like I said, around 40, man, I would definitely, you know, look into that. Until, I really want to play till I can't run anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely look into that because, you know, those guys, you know, play hard. You know, you got guys that's out there with like former All-Stars. You know, guys out there that really did it in the league. So, you know, the competition is there, and, you know, I would definitely look into it.
Have you talked to anybody that's played in the Big Three or have a relationship with any of the players?
Yeah, I see Dante playing in it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really talked to him about it, but like I say, I actually went to a couple games last year, man, in New Orleans when they played. So it was pretty cool, man. It's different. It's definitely different. Half court, not as much running. He made it suitable for guys that's 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to move around as much. So, I think Ice Cube did a big thing for that, man. Big thing for, guys that's, getting older and, to give them something to do, man. Give them something to do. And, like I said, it's turning out to be a big thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And before we let you go, man, do you have anything coming up, if you want to shout out your Instagram handles and all that?
Yeah, man. Just my Instagram handle. Marcus Thornton 10. Shout out to everybody that's out there grinding, man, and doing everything for a purpose, man. And follow your dream, man. Never give up on it. I'm gonna live a witness that you follow your dream, keep God first, man. It'll come true one day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
I thank you for giving us your time on this good day. Just briefly from your family. Wish peace and health over your family during this time. And just, man, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Like I said, this is my first one, man. I really enjoyed it. So, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, man. I hope this ain't the last time we get you, man. As you see, I ain't afraid to bug you.
Right. Nah. You good, man. Like I done broke the ice now. So we good.
All right, man. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Once again, we thank you again, Marcus Thornton, y'all. And I'm your host, Mark Haynes. You can find me at MH the Champ, along with my co-host,
Chris Perry. You can find me at Chris.PerrySR.
And it's a minute till 6, and we out.
Peace.